Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Pac-12 Softball, the final swing. I'm your host, Aaliyah Jordan, and I'm here with Cal softball sophomore Elon Butler.
Hi.
Thank you, of course, for being on the podcast today.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Okay. So, of course, the first question I have to start off with is we both played for Marty Tyson. So,
Yes.
so what do you think is give me one thing that you feel like he has taught you that has translated into your college career. Because I feel like there's so much, right? But
There's so much.
I bat lag and
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like I think the biggest thing he has taught me is like IQ, like understanding the game in ways that I feel like I would never understand if I wasn't playing for Marty. And it's for me, it's really elevated my game in ways that I can't imagine. Like he's taught me so much about situational hitting and just hitting in general and just the kind of mental toughness I need to have to be a great player. Sorry, I'm stuttering, but to be a great player. And honestly, I'm so grateful for the 4 years that I played for him because I learned so much. So,
I only played for him for 2 years, and I feel
yeah,
like those 2 years I learned more than I did in my whole career.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
And it's funny because I feel like Marty's obviously like the man everybody loves to hate for whatever reason.
Yeah,
But I think us playing with him or playing for him was just like
yeah,
a different experience. And
yeah.
I don't feel like there's many coaches like Marty in
Mhm.
softball. I mean, I don't know. Obviously, I've only played for one team, so I can't say
Yeah,
coaches
yeah,
like Marty. And so I feel like he prepared me for like anything and everything like
everything.
for life.
Yes.
I remember like his little sayings all the time. Like
Mhm.
so, like even till this day, like I don't even play softball anymore, and I still am like, okay, like love who loves you, and
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
so
Yeah.
Cal right now leads the pack in home runs and
Mhm,
doubles, and you guys are second
mhm,
in slugging percentage, RBIs, and total bases. What
mhm.
in your guys' offense this year? Because you guys are just going off offensively. I feel like I have to know, like, what's the secret sauce?
Honestly, we all kind of have our different swing styles and our different kind of swing plans, and our coach just kind of lets us get in the box and do us. He really harps on just letting yourself be free in the box and like kind of not just overthinking. I feel like as softball players that really want to be great, we kind of, I think I personally do this. I kind of like try to do too much or like kind of like try to think too much like to softball instead of just letting myself be free. And like we have a lot of really athletic people on our team, and he kind of just lets us go. He gives us an approach before the game, and he just lets us do us and be us in the box and having that attack mentality. So yeah.
So you said like being free. What is being free like for you? Because I feel like it's different for everyone. Like I had a teammate like she if unless we told her that the pitcher was lefty, she would not know how that
Yeah.
was a totally different side of her body. How did
Yeah.
she would
I
see
think
up in the box like anything.
yeah. Yeah. I think for me personally, I like to kind of over prepare during the week. I like to know what she throws, how she throws it, like what kind of like her body position is. Like I'm really like that. But like when I get in the game, like I kind of just think like one zone and that's it. Like just thinking about hitting the ball in my zone. And then that's me being free and not thinking about anything else but seeing the ball in my zone. And so that's for me just kind of just having again that attack mentality and just thinking like just hit the ball hard. So yeah.
Yeah. So you talk about over preparing
Mhm.
during the weeks. What is practice like for you? Are you like just watching a bunch of film? Like, do you guys,
Yeah.
like at UCLA, like we would have like if we were facing a lefty pitcher, they would move all the nets to the side and we would
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
it was a whole thing. What is practice like?
Yeah. So for me, I like to make sure I watch all my film before the week of practice. And when we're doing any type of drill or any type of um, machine that we're doing, like when we do heavy up ball or heavy down ball, we are always hitting the e-hack every single week. You know, that e-hack is dangerous every single time. And so, but sometimes we'll have our field get days. But even our field get days, I like to make sure that I'm preparing in a way that I kind of like mentally in my head put runners on. And sometimes I'll put myself in situations or like I'll like just make sure I have my swing prep for the kind of plane I'm going to be facing. Um, if there's multiple planes, then I do both. But and just kind of putting myself and sometimes I like to visualize the picture, like, on the mound, like, their windup and stuff, and there's kinda, like, just a lot of things that we do at practice, but those are, like, the main things for me that I do, to make sure that I'm prepared.
Well, clearly it's working because your average has gone up like almost 100 points this season. What do you feel like
Yeah.
you've improved as a hitter? It was it a change in your swing, your technique, your approach? I know you talked about your approach a lot, but like, is there anything
Mhm.
physically that you feel like you've changed from last year to this year?
I would say the biggest thing is my plate coverage. I really worked hard on, like, understanding how to hit an outside pitch and how to hit an inside pitch and, like, really focused on my hand paths this year, because I feel like I've always had the power, I've always had, like, really good rotation, I just sometimes I would get too pull heavy and it would just not be, I guess, not be not enough, but not be that successful against, like, the better pitching, and so I really did try to, like, make sure I could cover both sides of the plate with power, and then on top of that, I really focus on being on time, like, the biggest thing that I really focus on throughout the week is being on time, and, like, that's kinda just the biggest
Hmm.
2 things that I really just worked on really
Yeah.
hard, so,
So
yeah.
going back to last year, obviously you were a freshman. So how hard was that transition from college or into college from high
Yeah,
school, from travel ball? Um,
yeah.
yeah, I need to know about that transition.
Yeah. I mean, it was difficult because I had to obviously, with our last hitting coach, I had to change my swing up a little bit, but besides that, obviously, Marty prepares us well for college, and so it wasn't that hard of a transition. I think just mentally being going to school here as well was pretty tough, and then as well as just kinda juggling everything, like, with school, softball, and, like, kinda trying to keep yourself together mentally, physically, and emotionally, like, just being a part of team, like, a whole different type of culture, so that's kind of the more so thing I didn't really struggle with, per se, playing, it was more so just everything outside of playing,
Yeah.
and so that was kinda, like, the big transition for me, it's just so different, so yeah.
Yeah. That's funny you say that because I feel like that's exactly like how everyone's experience is. So your first year, like you're just playing, you're like you're having fun, nobody has film on you.
Yeah,
Like, oh, this is fun. And like you're trying to
yeah,
juggle everything outside of softball. And
yeah,
like your sophomore year, you've mastered everything outside of softball. And then
yeah.
you're like kind of like, okay, softball's a little
Yeah. Yeah,
and I feel like everybody has that moment their sophomore year. And then your junior year, you're like, okay,
yeah,
on a grip on both of these things, like, I
yeah,
you're good.
yeah.
So going over to school, obviously, we know Cal is probably I mean, the number 2 public school in the nation.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Tell that has to be hard. I know I interviewed Acacia a couple weeks ago, and I
Yeah,
like I can't remember what her major was, but it was something
yeah,
insane.
yeah,
What's your major? Like, tell me what is school like for you?
yeah. So right now I am a data science major, and so we do a lot of yeah. We do a lot of coding and a lot of just analytical stuff, but I've been kind of throwing it up in the air kind of what I do, but I also kind of want to go to med school. So I'm kind of all over the place with what I want to do, but it's just gonna be hard. So I've just been really just trying to yeah, school here is it's definitely extremely competitive, especially as for me personally, being a STEM major, there is just a lot of competition here, and there's a lot of kids here that have been doing this their whole entire life, especially when it comes to coding. So it definitely makes like being in class a lot harder. But I would say like managing it with school is for sure doable. Like you just gotta really just put your head down and just give it your best every single day. So it's hard, but it's doable. I don't wanna scare anyone off, but it's
No,
Yeah,
I took so I was a psych major, and for
yeah,
whatever reason, we had to take a coding class, and I was like, "Why
yeah.
are you taking a coding class?"
Yeah,
So I remember that was like one of the hardest classes I've ever taken. I was like, I never, ever, ever want to do this again.
yeah,
And I was so upset. And then also I was like sitting in class and I'm like, these people are gonna like discover how to cure cancer. And I'm like, I just
yeah.
student athlete. Like, I don't know how to know how to play
Yeah,
times. And I was like, no, I belong to be I belong to be here. I like belong here and I should be
yeah,
I've earned my way here. Like I 100% can do it. Obviously, I
yeah,
graduated, so we're good.
yeah.
As far as you saying like you don't know what you want to do, I'm almost 26 out of college and I still don't know what I want to do. So you
Yeah,
have time and you everything
yeah,
will figure itself out. I definitely will
yeah,
say.
thank you.
Of
Thank
course.
you.
So obviously, like you said, dealing with school and softball and everything outside of that,
Mhm.
how do you deal with all of that mentally? Like, what are some things that you do that prepare you mentally or calm? I guess I should say like calm you mentally.
Yeah. I think for me, kinda just reminding myself that I belong. I feel like especially as Black women in that space, like, it's really hard to feel like you're enough and you're worthy to be in that space, especially when you have a lot of people that don't look like you. And so I think reminding myself that I'm enough and that I belong, like, has been the biggest thing. And also just practicing gratitude every single day. I feel like I'm truly blessed to go to this school. Like I love it here. There's some crazy things that happen here all the time, but it's honestly it's so eventful and it's so pretty here. And I just remind myself to be grateful for everything that I have. And then on top of that, just taking time for myself, like making sure that I'm doing the things that I love outside of softball. Like I love to draw, I love to meditate, I like watching TV and just making sure that I'm whole like, school and softball is just not everything that I am right now. I'm much more than that, and so I think that's what's been helping me mentally.
Mhm. Oh my gosh, I love that. Just going back to what you said about being a Black woman, especially in this sport. So
Mhm.
last week I interviewed Dakota Kennedy from Arizona.
Yeah,
We had the same conversation, and I
yeah.
feel like for me growing up, the only people that I really saw that looked like me playing were like Natasha Watley,
Mhm.
Bates of UCLA. Like there weren't very many girls that looked like me that I could look up to.
Yeah.
Now, so many teams are
Yeah.
super diverse and like
Mhm.
you don't just see Black girls in the outfield, like you see them in the
Yeah.
like that's
Yeah.
like a totally different. So like the game has obviously changed
Mhm.
so much. Have you encountered any like challenges being a Black woman in this sport? Obviously, you played for Marty Tyson, so
Yeah.
it's a little different.
Yeah.
But, any challenges in that aspect, or
Um,
story, I should say. We don't have to make it negative. We can make it
no,
good.
yeah. Honestly, I love being on my team because it's super diverse. We're super brown, like, we almost have every single race on our team, so I love that, and so especially, I think we have, like, 7 Black girls on our team, and we have a lot of, we have a couple Hispanic girls as well as a lot of Asian people on our team, and so it's really nice to be a part of a diverse community. I think coach really harps on having a diverse community as well. But as far as, like, difficulties, um, I'm not sure if you heard about the Louisiana story, but that was probably one of the hardest things that I
I
went through. Um the team went through in general, and it kinda was like, cause I don't really go to the Deep South like that, like, I was kinda like, "Oh, like, this is just gonna be, like" I'm expecting, like, some crazy stuff to happen, but I wasn't expecting that on that massive scale, especially, like, in sport. I just feel like it's never that serious to be, like, booing 18, 19, 20-year-olds as, like, a 50, 60, older people, like, that was just a lot, and just having to uh, be in that moment and just be reminding myself that, like, that has no defiance on, like, who I am, it's all about who they are, and, like, um, it doesn't make me, like, my protest any less, valid, it makes it a matter of fact, it makes it even more valid because I am indeed standing on what I believe, and me continue to standing on what I believe is the most important part, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
I never experienced anything like as major as that. I remember watching that game and just
Yeah.
like I could not imagine having to focus on winning this softball game. And it was
Yeah.
a close game. I mean, obviously you guys
Yeah.
like I couldn't
Yeah.
imagine like having to go through that right before the game. I mean, during the game, like
Yeah.
thing. I was like, this is insane. And it's
Yeah.
kind of sad because it's like everyone has, their opinion. Everyone
Yeah.
has their opinion, and I feel like you can take a stance on anything, and you're gonna have a million people who hate you for it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm sorry you had to experience that. That is
Mhm.
obviously really tough, but
No, yeah. It's okay. It honestly fired me up. I was like, "No, now we must beat them.
yeah,
We can't we can't go out bad, like, we must beat them."
that's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've come through clutch so many times for Cal this season. Can you share like your most memorable home run or just like clutch hit for the season and like what was going through your head during that moment?
Um, I think the funniest moment was we were playing, Virginia Tech, and I was having a really good game, and I don't remember the score, but I just remember swinging at a pitch, like, literally 3 balls outside, out, like, down and out, like, obviously not what I was going for, it was runner at third with 2 outs, like, it was obviously what I was but I got a hit, and I was just so elated during that time because I was like, I don't know what I was swinging at, but it worked, and so that was probably one of my funnest one. Obviously, um, in Louisiana as well, like, after struggling a little bit off of Landry, like, getting that hit to put us up, that was another good one, as well, and so, um, those are probably my 2 favorite in the
Mhm.
beginning of the season because it's just, like, that one, it was just absolutely ridiculous. I don't know how that ball fell, but it did. And so,
I feel like sometimes those are the best hits because yeah, like
yeah.
I know for me there were so many times where like I don't even know what I'm doing at the plate at this point. Like I'm just swinging
Yeah.
anything and if it falls, it falls. Hey, whatever it takes, right? I'm like
Yeah.
on the score on the stat sheet, it counts as a hit. Nobody knows what.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was one of my favorite ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you feel like is your biggest strength as a hitter, and how do you feel like you like leverage that during the games?
Oof, that's a good question. I think hmm, I think now my biggest strength is kinda like my confidence in the box. I feel like there's not really a situation where I go in with a whole bunch of, like, self-doubt. Obviously, that's something that we all struggle with as athletes, but I feel like, when I'm in the box, like, and I'm seeing the ball, like, I just feel as though I could put myself in headspaces where I'm like, "Let's go. Let's just go hit." And, like, now with, like, the amount of plate coverage I've had, it's given me a lot more confidence in the box. I know I can hit, like, any pitch, up, down, in or out, like, I just have to look for something that I really like, and so I think, yeah, kinda just my confidence in the
Mhm.
box has been the biggest thing that's shifted and has made me, I feel like, more of a great player, so
I feel like I felt the same way my whole career. I remember everybody was like, "What do you tell yourself like when you go in the box?" And I was like, honestly, I go up there and I'm like, I'm Aaliyah freaking Jordan.
Yeah.
Any pitch I can hit, and
Yeah.
whether or not it was true, I could be 0 for 4, and I'm still like,
Mhm.
I'm Aaliyah Jordan.
Bring it right. Yeah.
Like getting ready in the box, and that honestly I feel like it helps so much because like you said, like you prepare so much during the week, like not even during the week, like months, like all of fall, like when you're not playing games, all of
Mhm.
January where it's like the longest month of the year, like you're
Oh my
preparing for the
god.
whole time. Like I know
Yeah.
I put in the work, like there's nothing that can beat me. Like if I get out, then I know I got out, I got my
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
very rarely was I gonna be like, no, the pitcher straight up beat me. Like there's something
Yeah.
you can do each at bat, to get better, to get a hit, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
All right, I think this is my last question for you. But
Mhm.
looking ahead, I know you're only a sophomore. What are some goals or aspirations that you want to accomplish either this season or
Mhm.
the next 2 years of your career?
Oh, I have really big dreams. So I really wanna go play professionally. Hope to play for Team USA one day, and play overseas. Like, that's the ultimate goal. Like, that's what I would love to do, but obviously, being player of the year would be really nice, as well as, just being an All-American.
Yeah.
So those are my goals. Those are my big, big goals. But yeah, I
Those
just
are obviously great goals.
yes, I wanna do it all, like,
Yeah.
and fully send on myself. Like I just wanna do it all and just show everyone that I'm a great player. Like that's all I wanna do is just reach my potential and keep on beating the best version of myself every single day. So that's what I
I know I said last question, but I feel like I have to ask this one.
Mhm.
What is something off the field that you feel like has positively impact your career overall? Like not softball related, because I feel like
Mhm.
about softball. What about off the field?
I do. I think really just committing to filling my own cup, if that makes sense, like, doing whatever makes me happy, whether that's just, like, being really is just really being honest with where I'm at. I think that's been, like, the biggest thing that I've really changed, like, off the field per se, like, if I'm feeling, like, a little off, like, spiritually or just mentally, like, I'll just make sure to do what I need to do to get myself back to where I need to be, whether that's, like, drawing or whether that's meditating or whether that's just spending literally just touching grass, like, making sure that I really just take care of me and, like, center me, as well as, like, saying grateful like, again, like, being grateful for everything that I have because it could all be gone in just a single moment, and that's been the biggest thing, like, just making sure that outside of school, outside of softball, like, I'm a whole person, and
Yeah.
I'm making sure that, like, I have needs as well. As much as I love softball, as much as I love school, like, I also have needs for myself, and those people are kinda like separate people, if that makes sense,
Yeah.
and so, like, but they all come together to be one, obviously, but, um, just making sure that, like, if there's anything I'm interested in, do it. If there's anything that I wanna do right now, do it. If it's gonna make me happy, like, I'm gonna do it, and so that's kind of been the biggest thing that's been helping me, like, off the field.
Mhm. No, that's amazing. I feel like, yeah, if there's one thing that I would tell you from my 7 years of experience,
Yeah.
do the stuff outside of softball. There were so many years that I was like, no, it's just like softball, softball, softball. And it's like,
Mhm.
no, I'm more than just the softball player, Aaliyah Jordan.
Yeah.
I remember taking like cooking classes that the athletics
Mhm.
would put on and I took a theater class and that was
Yeah.
my favorite class I've ever taken at UCLA. Like I met so
Yeah.
many people, like it was just something like something outside of my shell that I feel like I usually wouldn't do, but
Mhm.
that was like the most fun thing. So yes, I definitely love like I'm always do you're definitely gonna have to tell me how you meditate because I think I'm gonna need to take
Dude, yeah, it really just comes with practice, like, I'll just be looking up videos on YouTube, I'm like, "Hmm, what do I need today?"
oh
And then I'll just start meditating for, like, at least, like, 10 minutes at least. It doesn't take much.
oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna have to start doing that.
Dude, yeah.
But that's all I have for questions for you. I don't
Mhm.
know if you have any questions for me. I'm like starting to incorporate that into the interviews of like
Yeah.
me being like the interviewee, I guess, if that's the right.
Yeah. Dang. What could I ask? Um, I think, like, I obviously just wanna make my mark on the world, I guess. I have really big dreams, really big goals, and, like, what do you think was the biggest thing that, I guess, separated, like, your good from your great, if that makes sense? Like, I feel like I don't know, I'm a really harsh critic on myself, so I'm like, "I could be doing more, I could be doing more, I could be doing more," but, like, I also feel like that comes at my greatest detriment sometimes, so, like, how do you separate, like, your good from your great and be able to, like, repeat your great? And then,
Mhm.
like, if you have the same issue that I do of being like, "I wanna do more, I wanna do more, I wanna do more," then, like, how do you deal with that?
I think that's funny. I remember having this conversation with Brianna Perez. I don't know if she played at
Yeah.
UCLA. And we had this conversation. I think because we were talking about like Kobe or something like that, and Kobe was like,
Mhm.
I don't care if I'm hurt, like I'm gonna be getting my reps in at like earlier but before practice, all this stuff. And we were like,
Yeah.
where's the line of like, okay, this is too much, and this is like, okay, no, I need to be doing this. And
Yeah.
I think something that I got really good at was listening to my body and like learning from my body. Like
Mhm.
there were days where like my body just was not having it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
Yeah.
it's tough on your body. And I remember being like, okay, I would go into my coach's office and be like, I'm not 100% today. I'm about 75, but I will give
Mhm.
my 100% of that
Mhm.
75. And they're like, you know what, that's all we can ask. And so
Mhm.
I just got really good at listening to my body and being like, okay, hey, my shoulder hurts today, like I'm gonna do just taking like a few reps and making sure those few reps that I'm like making, like focusing on every single thing that needs to get done in order for it to be a good throw or whatever it may be.
Mhm.
Whether if it was like, obviously I had a million injuries, so like it's just listening to the body and like figuring that out. And then I mean, I think the same thing even when it came to like practicing for my swing. It was like I learned my swing so much that I was like something feels off. And then like I would
Yeah.
like go in the cage and be like, okay, can you throw me like 15 inside pitches? I need to get like this one feeling down. And once I got that feeling
Mhm.
down, I was able to replicate it. So I think it was just like learning my body and learning like what I need to do exactly for my swing, for my throws, whatever it may be, in order
Mhm.
for me to replicate that over and over and over again. And then knowing when something, even if it was like super small, was off.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense.
Mhm.
Do I have another question?
Doesn't have to be softball related either.
Yeah. Um, I don't know. You just played for so long. Like I just like you played for so long. I was like, dang, 7, that's crazy. But um, when you were going through your injuries, what were like some of the things you did mentally to keep yourself like, I guess, sane, if that makes sense? Like what
That's a great question. Um, so my first ACL, that was in the fall of 2016, which sounds like it was so long ago.
Mhm.
You were probably in like fifth grade.
Yeah.
That first one was so tough. I had never missed a game due to an injury or anything like that. So that was like a whole new playing field for me. And
Mhm.
I think I talked about this last week too on the podcast. It was mainly just trying to be a good teammate. And I had to, if I couldn't contribute on the field, I needed to figure out a way to contribute to the team behind the scenes. And it was
Mhm.
picking a pitcher's change up or helping somebody with their swing if they needed help or different things like that. I think I made it less about me and like not having throwing a pity party for myself and being like, hey,
Mhm.
how can I help other people? And I think that helped a little bit as far as like the recovery, mainly just like taking victories, like little small victories, whether if it was like,
Mhm.
hey, I can walk without my brace today. That's great.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I had Tommy John surgery, like, hey, I can lift sorry. I can lift one
Okay.
pound versus, what, or I can lift like 5 pounds versus 2 pounds,
Mhm.
whatever it
Yeah.
may be. One of those things. Like, it was just mainly just trying to focus on the little things and try to take it off me and, put it on, focus on the good in life. And I feel like I can be so negative with
Yeah.
mentally, whatever it may be. And so it was just me trying to be as positive as I could be on
Mhm.
honestly anything. I was trying to find the
Yeah.
anything at that point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm,
Okay. I think this is the last one. Like, I feel like for me, I feel like I don't say I always feel like I'm underperforming, but I feel like there's a lot of times when I'm like, well, I kind of just said this, like, I can do better, like, I can do better, I can do better. Um, what's like your biggest advice for me? Because I kind of put myself through like a mental whirlwind where I'm like, all right, well, like this was good, but like this was good, but I could be doing this, I could be doing this. Like, um, what's your biggest advice for like that, if that makes sense? Like, what's your biggest advice for people that are just like want to be
mhm.
great, but like can't seem to just get over that edge, if that makes sense?
Yeah, I definitely had that problem, and I think honestly, I talked to Coach Lisa about it because
Mhm.
obviously, if you don't know, Coach Lisa is like the ultimate like I
Yeah.
like she's like super grinder, like 100%
Yeah.
on everything. And I like had this conversation with her, like same thing. Like I was like, I just even if we like if I could have won the game for the or I could have hit a home run and I
Mhm.
could have gotten jammed and I would be upset.
Yeah.
She'd be like, you just hit a home run. Like, why are you
Yeah.
upset? over him.
Yeah.
You got jammed. Who cares? Like, I
Yeah.
think at the end of the day, like I had to realize like this is just a game. And
Mhm.
I had to stop, like I said, stop thinking about myself and thinking like, how can I help the team? Let's say even if the game was on the line, I struck out, like I was like obviously upset, but it was like, okay, I have confidence in the next person to get it.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
I think I just had to take it off of myself. And obviously we all want to be great. We all
Yeah.
want to get the game winning hit. We want to be the most successful person. But
Mhm.
at the end of the day, it's not always about always being the best. It's about how can I help my team? And I feel like we always want to do more, more, more. But sometimes it's
Mhm.
not always about doing more. Sometimes it's just like, you know what? It is what it is, and I'm gonna take it as that. Obviously,
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep putting in the work, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna put myself in a position to be successful. But ultimately, if it doesn't come, then it doesn't come. But at least
Mhm.
I know I did everything to put myself in that position to be successful.
Okay.
Hopefully that helped. Hopefully
No,
that
that
gave.
helps a lot. That helps a lot. I just yeah. Um,
Um, but yeah, thank you for the questions.
mhm.
I like we're running out of time now.
No,
Um,
yeah.
but as always, thank you for being on the podcast.
Mhm.
And you guys you're at home playing
Yeah, we're
Washington.
at home.
Oh my
Play
gosh.
Washington today.
Ooh, oh my God,
Yeah.
I forgot today is Friday. Oh my God,
Yeah.
you guys, that's gonna be a great
It's,
series. I'm definitely gonna
yeah.
be watching that.
Yeah. You should, it's gonna be fun. We have to get them back for what they did to us last year. So yeah, we gotta get them. So it should be fun.
Yeah. Oh
Gonna
my God.
face some great pitching, so I'm
Yeah.
excited.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, good luck.
Thank
And
you.
yeah, I'll be watching your game.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back, everyone. Hope you guys enjoyed that interview with Elon. I know I had an amazing time talking with her. Not going to recap any of the games this weekend, just going to go straight into the Pac 12 honors this week. So, player of the week, we had Olivia DiNardo. She hit 500, going 6 for 12, had 5 runs, 4 RBIs, and 3 home runs, and 15 total bases. She had a 2-run home run on Friday against Oregon and went 3 for 4 on Saturday. Just had an amazing weekend. Pitcher of the week, we had Mariah Lopez from Utah. She had in 3 games, she went 3-0. She pitched 17 innings. She had 20 strikeouts and .41 ERA. She tossed 6 innings on Friday's game against ASU, allowing just 1 earned run while striking out 5, and then threw a complete game shutout on Sunday, striking out 7, allowing just 4 base runners. Lastly, we had freshman of the week, Ava Gall. She went 8 for 13, batting 615. She had a 688 on base percentage, 6 RBIs, and 11 total bases. She had a 3-run home run in the first inning in their win against Oregon on Friday, and had 2 hits and scored on Sunday. Had 2 hits and scored in Saturday's 13-3 win against Oregon State, and wrapped up the weekend going 3 for 4 and with 1 RBI on Sunday's finale. So congratulations to all of them. I quickly want to talk about the standings that we have right now, because there's only after this weekend there's only 2 weekends left in the pack before the Pac-12 tournament. So this is going to be a huge weekend determining the standings. Um, right now, Stanford's number 1, UCLA's number 2, Washington's 3, Oregon's 4, Arizona's 5, Utah is 6, Oregon State is 7, Cal is 8, and ASU is 9. And I say this is a big weekend because the number 1 and number 2 teams are playing each other. Stanford and Cal are playing each other at Stanford. So this is a really big weekend because this is going to determine who's going to have the number 1, number 2. I mean, obviously there's still more games to play, but for the most part, they're only separated by 1 loss right now. So this is a huge weekend for them. They're playing today, Friday through Sunday, and this is gonna be hard because Stanford's pitching staff is just out of this world. It's gonna be a really, really tough game. I know when we played them at the Pac-12 tournament last year, that was a really, really tight game. Obviously, UCLA ended up getting the win, but I think Stanford's got a little bit of vengeance to come back. I mean, they lost that game. I think they're definitely going to want to be the number 1 seed going into the Pac 12 tournament. So it should be interesting what the rest of this Pac 12 year is looking like. So I'm really excited to watch a lot of these games. I know Washington plays Cal, so that'll be a really good series as well. I mean, every weekend's a big series. I feel like people are constantly taking games. Oregon State's taking games from people. Everybody's taking games from people, let's be real. Um, but yeah, that's all I have for you guys this weekend. Again, as always, if there's ever anything you guys ever want to see me talk about, hear me, see someone that you want me to interview, please let me know. But thank you guys for watching, and I will see you